Can everybody hear me? Work all right? Good? In the back? Great. You may know me as somebody who's fun, social, likes to have a good time. Now, while this will always be true, I'm also here to talk about the track record of success that I've had over the years and why I want to be your MBASA president. In high school, I was elected vice president of our school as a sophomore. Because of the work that the government completed, I was elected president the following year. My experience in leadership continued during my tenure at Vanderbilt University. There, I ran our new student orientation program and was elected president of our fraternity. During my time at Kenan-Flagler, I have been honored to serve as a Rizzo Legacy Representative. During all these phases of my life, a few things have remained constant about my leadership style. I'm collaborative, I'm an advocate, and I get things done. Let me give you a few examples of what I've done here. Before being elected Legacy Rep, I, along with many of you, were confused with the new attendance policy. The policy had good intentions, but needed to be tweaked in terms of how to implement it properly. So what did I do? I scheduled meetings with Dr. B and Mary Knight and Brenner in order to figure out why this new policy was being created and how we could improve it. Together, with the help of my fellow Legacy reps and the student body, we've put a plan in place so that next year there are no Friday classes for first years during Mod 2. I said it in my position paper, but we did this. I don't always have the right answer on my own, but I know that with the right team of 290 intelligent minds, we can collectively come to that right solution. Not only have I been an important member of change driven by a collaborative effort, but I've also been the driving force behind change. I think some of you remember finals week during Mod 2, where everyone was supposed to carpool for our tests. This was a tough situation that everyone was complaining about. I took this feedback and approached Dr. B with it. Within hours, we were all able to park in the lot for the remainder of the week. This may have been a small victory, but it represents that I have no issue bringing our student feedback to any administrator in order to do what's best for our class. Told you a little bit about what I've done. Now let me address a little bit of what I'm doing. When I came to Kenan-Flagler, I wanted to improve our admissions process and experience. So I sat down with the president of the Admissions Advisory Board and came up with ideas and solutions to better our personal touch during the recruiting process. Without getting too much into the details, a couple of the plans involved having a form that MBA ambassadors would fill out to give prospective candidates feedback to the admissions office, and setting up a call-a-thon to ensure all newly admitted students are being reached out to appropriately after admissions decisions are reached. These improvements, if successfully implemented, should improve our yield with all demographics, from men to women to diverse candidates to prospective international students. Similarly, I'm working with Kaylor Mark on making Experience Weekend even more of a draw than it's been in years past. While a lot of people attended, and it was a good time, we are exploring successful Experience Weekends at other schools in order to show off our school in the best light. Again, the best solution here doesn't come from us doing this on our own. We need the help and support from anyone that has ideas and wants to get involved. Our greatest asset at UNC is our people. We want to make sure that we're utilizing that correctly. A good presidential candidate can tell you what they've done, but a great candidate can explain what they plan to do if elected. My ideas are relatively easy to implement and will yield some great results. The first area that I'd like to address is improvement to our community. As president of my fraternity, I oversaw social events, managed our budget, and evaluated what type of events we would have. I used that knowledge on the social committee here at UNC from helping implement Carolina Casuals to the end of Mod 2 party at La Res. We do a great job at getting to know each other here in the program, but many times we miss out on the opportunity to get to know people in the medical, law, dental, and other graduate programs. If elected, I would push to have more socials with all graduate schools in order to improve the bonds with the diverse members of the Carolina community. Another idea is around the topic of communication. our weekly Legacy Rep emails that I would send out would address key topics in our student life. I think many people in our legacies greatly appreciated them. But too many times this year, I think we all, at one time or another, felt like we didn't know what was going on, whether it be a career event, a social activity, or just a one-off class here in Corey. We get too many emails from the program office, and sometimes the most important ones get lost in the shuffle. To address that issue, why not streamline the communication with one weekly customized email that would contain CMC, program office, and scheduling changes all in one email? I would work with the Vice President of Communications to get that done. One additional idea is specifically geared toward international students, and it is around the Culture Buddies program. I've spoken with numerous international students, and their feedback on the initiative is very mixed. I think a majority of this feedback is rooted in the fact that Mod 1 is incredibly busy. Frequently, it is easy for some buddies to make this program a low priority. One suggestion to improve the program would be to add more structure to it. There could be a bowling night, a scavenger hunt, maybe a trivia night, anything where there could be events tied to it that buddies could attend in a social setting. I think there's also a possibility for students to be able to sign up for a Culture Buddy even before we get to school, so people have one less thing to do on campus. I've also discussed the possibility with EJ Salazar of including second years as Culture Buddies, since the workload is less intensive for them, and it could also improve first and second year relations. This is just the beginning. I have more ideas, but I've only had time here to highlight a few of them. All of the things I've mentioned today have come from talking to you all out here. Many times people feel like they cannot make a difference or make a change because they're not an elected officer or because no one's asked for their opinion. I want to make sure that you know, with me, that's never the case. My door is always open. Your feedback is always welcome and encouraged. I want the opportunity to be the person who you trust to be your advocate during your time and our time here at school. I promise I will be fully committed to making you proud that you did. Thanks.